I invite Mr. Naveen Pasuparthy, founding member of Nandu's group, to lead the next session of the panel discussion. And also I request him to coordinate the panelists onto the dais.
Start with that assumption. We want to hear from your experience, your feedback on few thoughts that we have. So I put forth a few questions, and I'm going to go and then shoot out the questions, and then request any one of you to throw your experience and thoughts. So in processing, you've got primary processing, you've got value-added products like RTC, RTE. So we will not go too much into the RTC and RTE, but we'll look at the primary processing, which is the first stage of taking the live bird to the consumer, right? So before I start, I'll just give a small brief. Dr. Arun Kumar Rai is a fully integrated company based out of coastal Karnataka, a breeder farm, feed plant, integration, slaughtering, and Horeca segment. I will not say institutions, it's Horeca. That's a technical word used in the vertical. Am I right, sir? Okay. So Mahesh comes from fully retail, My Chicken and More. So it's just chicken is one product. He's also into retailing of. So I had stopped at My Chicken and More. So My Chicken and More is 100% retail, all types of meats, direct to consumer, online and offline. Am I right? Okay. So I stand to be corrected if I'm going off. Samir comes from Calcutta, Northeast, fully integrated company, processing, retailing, and Horeca. Great. And Mr. Kutino sir comes from the coastal Karnataka and a fully integrated company, integration, processing, and Horeca. Great. So with that, let me just start. Vincent, I have a question. Large capacity slaughterhouse at one place versus small, medium slaughterhouses at different places. Your thoughts from your experience, why not?
Naveen, all of us know Indian broiler industry is market is nearly 90% of live bird market. Only 10% we are processing and concentration on processing. In that 10%, processing capacities depend on the volume you operate, the model you operate. The volume, bigger the volume, you require large slaughter plants, and medium operators, you can go for medium, and small operators, you can go for small. But in large processing plants, the investment is huge, and the medium and small operators, producers cannot go for the large processing plants because of the huge investment. They will stuck in between somewhere. My idea is in medium and small producers has to go for medium and small plants so that they can sell their products in their neighborhood around 100-kilometer radius of their plant in a chilled manner, so that we can reach end customer very easily, and remote places they can reach very easily. Whereas in big processing plant, chilled is again issue of quality, reaching faraway places, and most of the products are frozen, and they have to concentrate on big institution sales, export, and big dealer sales. So this depends on their model of operation, and for small operators, it is ideal to reach the end customer or Horeca customer to their requirement.
Great.
I feel small operators has to choose small, medium and small processing plants.
So, Samir, Vincent touched upon a point called large slaughterhouses, massive investments. You've got a large slaughterhouse. What would be the cost of a 2,000 birds per hour slaughterhouse minus the land cost, approximate capex from your experience in today's?
It wouldn't be anything less than 25 crores based on today's investment.
So I have another question, Samir, for you. Air chilling versus water chilling, right? Now, when you're doing 2,000 birds per hour kill line, you're looking at around what, 3.5 lakh liters of water a day, approximately?
Yeah, approximately 17 to 18 liters is what a bird consumes.
So you're looking around upwards of 300,000 liters of water a day. That's a lot of water you're using, right? Sometimes you think, sit back and say, it's a very limited natural resource. Rains are less, water table is going down. What are your thoughts about air chilling and water chilling? Because you're just eating up a lot of water in nature. So it has occurred to you, if it has, your thoughts on that?
Naveen, first, water chilling just by itself, it is only consuming about 2.5 to 3 liters of water. So it is not that the entire 15 to 18 liters is being consumed by water chilling. So if we switch to air chilling, the saving will be only about 2.5 liters of water per bird. Having said that, it consumes a lot of energy to actually air chill because the power requirement really increases. And mainly in India, the water chilling concept is there. Nowadays, a lot of water is getting recycled and reused. We have a lot of technological innovations coming in. And I think most of the industries, not only processing, but most of the industries operating in different cycles also, they are reusing the water and recycling the water. They are even recharging the water into the ground to boost the depleting resources.
So you've put a large slaughterhouse. Everybody putting a slaughterhouse in India is going European suppliers, slaughter plants.
Yeah.
So when you look at Atmanirbhar India, why are new slaughterhouses not using Indian-made equipment? Your experience, you've got a large slaughterhouse, it's a European-made. A lot of slaughterhouses are all European-made.
It is more about, I think, precision of the machines, the equipment, standardization of the product. And I think one major factor why European slaughterhouses are doing well is because of the scalability. So let's say if we want to expand from 2,000 birds to 5,000, 6,000 upwards, then the European slaughterhouse is the ideal thing to go for. So if we look at data also, as per the latest APTEC report which I went through, around 160,000 birds per hour will be available for processing by the end of this year or beginning of next year. And out of that, 75% of the capacity is captured by the European slaughterhouse. That is the sort of proportion.
Scale. Mahesh, coming to My Chicken and More. How do you move the customers from your experience from live animal butchery shops to shops like yours? Your experience, please share.
Yes, it's a good question. So moving consumer from live animal butchery shops to organized meat retailing outlets can be a challenging task. So the biggest challenge is changing mindset of consumer who used to buying meat from live animal butchery shops. Another biggest myth is that meat from live butchery shop is fresher. Some customer still they will follow cultural practice to buy from them their meat needs. And some consumers may still go to the live chicken shops because they have built some relationship with them because of they have their neighborhood live bird chicken shops. So, and lack of awareness about the organized meat retail outlets also is important. Yeah.
So can you comment on live is fresh, live is not fresh? Can you comment on that statement?
Yeah. So when it comes to chilled chicken, so we will think it is a food, whether it is chicken or any other meat, you will consider it is a food. When it comes to food, so we will measure in terms of quality, hygiene and cleanliness. So So when we think of this, so always chilled is better than live, and it's always fresh.
How do you communicate this to the consumer? How do you take them out of the slaughter shops, live animal slaughter shops? How do you communicate this to the consumer?
Communication to these our consumers. So we should offer some wide range of products, and we must educate consumers about the benefits of purchasing meat from organized retail outlets, such as guaranteed quality, traceability, and greater transparency in the meat supply chain in organized meat retail outlets. And ultimately, so if you offer some discount and promotions, we can attract consumers from live butchery shops to organized retail outlets, what I feel.
You've got about, what, 35 retail outlets in Bangalore?
Yeah, I have presently 21, my chicken and more in Bangalore.
Yeah. So, 21 retail outlets and 21 touch points to the public. What are the best practices that you are maintaining or deploying to maintain hygiene levels and cleanliness in your meat stores? I will not use chicken because you're on all meats.
Yeah, it's very important. So, maintaining high standard of hygiene and cleanliness in chicken outlet, it is essential for ensuring food safety and customer delight. So, first and most important is the store infrastructure.
Yeah.
So, we must design it properly for easy maintenance. And we should put complete tiles instead of wall paints for easy maintenance and for better hygiene. And in the store, all equipments and working tables, cutting machines and utensils should be stainless steel food grade. And we must use latest drainage and plumbing solutions for maintaining better hygiene. This is very important. And also we have to check the water quality, air exhaust and fresh filtered air inlet. And interior and exterior should be friendly for easy maintenance. So overall, with this, we can, I think, we can build some organized retail outlets, I feel.
Wildcard entry question.
Sorry?
Mahesh, wildcard entry question.
No, I didn't get.
It's a wildcard question.
Okay.
Retailing of meat stores is very new. People don't want to work in the meat stores. How are you continuously looking for talent? What do you do to attract talent? It's not a very glorifying thing to work in a meat store. So your experience, how are you doing that?
Yes. So this is a very tough question. So we don't call it is a chicken shop or slaughterhouse, first of all. So when maybe we will be example for them, so who are joining our industry, because I started my career as one of the salesmen. Then I worked as a butcher. Now I became a successful founder, I feel. I am the best example to attract the youngsters into our industry.
Thank you. Doc, I have a question for you. So, when you look at the live animal butchery shops, you're generating tremendous amount of solid waste. And you're pushing that liquid and solid waste through your sewage lines in the city, right? So, social acceptance of that, number one. Number two, what are your thoughts of minimizing environmental impact, infrastructure impact on the municipalities in the towns? I mean, can you share some of the thoughts on those lines?
Okay. Now, am I audible? See, now, the waste management is definitely it's a real challenging one. But luckily, we are in such a good industry where whatever waste we are producing, it's not a waste, we can convert into wealth. Now you're talking about the liquid waste.
Both solid and liquid in the live animal butchery shop. Not in the slaughter plant.
Live animal shop it's really challenging.
Yeah.
In fact, solid waste, cities like Bangalore and Chennai, some companies who are doing rendering, they are collecting waste. It's a good move. But liquid waste it's a real challenge.
Yeah.
It's a real challenge, and only answer is setting up meat shops. Slowly we have to.
Yeah, you've been in processing also.
Yeah.
So can you tell us what are the benefits of rendered poultry byproducts in poultry feed and other applications of the rendered meal to increase realizations of that solid waste which you render?
Oh yeah. In fact, solid waste is the real wealth in our industry. We can convert this solid waste into a very good product called chicken meal through the process called rendering. In fact, there's a question regarding anything regarding the rendering, or should I explain about the rendering also?
No, rendering, I think all of us know what
everybody
rendering.
knows about it.
But one is you're using in poultry feed, as some percentage goes into the nutrition, right? What other applications and how do you increase the realization per kilo of the rendered meat in your operations?
Okay. Now, rendered chicken meal can be used in the pet food, in chicken meal, even in the chicken feed, then the piggery feed. Yes, of course, we can use that. Now, maximization of benefits you're talking about. See, rendered chicken meal, one issue is the high fat content. So because of the high fat content, we cannot store it for a long time. So if you defat it, there is a very good demand. It can fetch a little more price also in the industry. We can sell it to the pet food. There is a very good demand for chicken meal.
Has it any day occurred to you to launch a pet food product line?
Sorry?
Has it any day occurred to you to launch a pet food product line?
No, in fact, we are focused on poultry. A lot more work has to be done in the poultry field. I'm not focused on that.
So, Vincent sir, I have a question for you. If your product is the cheapest and you give the longest credit cycle, all the HoReCa customers will buy from you. Product is cheapest, longest credit cycle. Is this true?
Yes, definitely. The hotel, restaurant and catering segment usually expect cheapest material with the long credit period with quality and best service. Nothing wrong in that, because meat is a commodity for them, and a major profit share for this segment comes from chicken only, not from other meats. So they are expecting, and most thing is most of our producers are competing to supply, because lot of processed meat cannot be sold through the retail network itself. So nothing wrong there.
So the following question on that is, if you give the longest credit and the cheapest product, HoReCa will just eat up your production capacity. Is it profitable? Number one. Number two, what is your PBT, profit before tax percentage, on a top line if you're only slaughtering and doing HoReCa sales? I mean, I don't want your numbers, but you can give me a range. Just for people to understand where this
is a very good question. Meeting HoReCa exclusively from the plant is a very, very difficult, because the profit margin in the HoReCa sector is very, very minimum. Most of the time it is minus. Most of our processors tell it is a social service. But I feel that HoReCa segment is required for the processing plant to build up the volume to the plant. Otherwise, only on the retail sector you cannot build up volume, and because of that you cannot run processing plant in a full capacity, and your cost of production will go high. Secondly, my opinion is we have to cater this HoReCa segment to convert this live bird market to the processing plant, processing meat. It is our intention. Dr. Dev Gowda told in the initial remark, we have to try to convert live bird market to a processing market. This is a major. If we convert this HoReCa segment to a processed meat, these live bird butchers will feel shortage of their volume to the shops, and they depend only on retail sales, and the time will come they cannot afford to run their shops and close down, and the volume of meat sales will increase. At the same time, I feel that we, as the producers, we should not neglect this HoReCa segment, because this is one is your brand image you are increasing in your surrounding area, and processed meat is well absorbed by the HoReCa segment, because most of the chefs know the importance of the processed meat, and they will include in their recipes as a meat. This is very important.
So I have...
lastly, finally, I ask you the profit, this one. I am catering this HoReCa segment from last 15 years. Hardly I am looking some profit from last 2-3 years, and last financial year profit was only 1.75% before tax.
But it keeps your kill line running. It keeps the kill line running.
Yes.
That's important. So I have another follow-through question for you, Vincent sir. The slaughterhouse consumes a lot of electricity and water, right? What are the strategies you're adopting to control such limited natural resources? And how do you control it? What new things you're trying to look at, search in the global markets to bring down cost of electricity, bring down water? Can you share some of your experience?
The natural resources like water and electricity is a very important for the slaughterhouses. Bigger the slaughterhouse, the water consumption is more. Smaller the slaughterhouse, water consumption is less. If it is 14 to 16 liters per bird, it is in a bigger slaughterhouse. It is 9 to 10 liter in a smaller slaughterhouses. In bigger slaughterhouses, discharging, we should have ETP, and discharging ETP water is a big challenge.
Correct.
Big challenge. In small slaughterhouses, the ETP water can be converted. We are doing it. We can flush it to the drains, and then the water is consumed for the agriculture, the land available around the processing plant. Through the agriculture, we can generate some income. In terms of electricity, electricity is day by day increasing cost. So we have to opt for solar power so that we can decrease the electricity cost. In my plant, I have implemented 3 plants. I have implemented small plants also, 550 kVA solar power, and that is how we are saving the power cost.
Samir, I have a question for you. I'll make a statement and the question will follow. Egg fried rice, Indians, you can find every part of the world. Anywhere you go, you'll get egg fried rice and you'll run into Indians. When Indians are so widely spread across Mother Earth, what are the opportunities, if there are any, for a processor to manufacture ready-to-eat, ready-to-cook items, Indian palate? I'm not talking of sausages, nuggets, it's extremely European, too many people. So is there an opportunity? Have you looked at it? What has been your experience? Very specific, RTC, RTE, Indian palate to the Indian community in the world market for exports.
Naveen, if you are going abroad nowadays, you find a huge queue outside the Indian restaurants.
So,
You find a huge queue outside the Indian restaurants.
Yeah.
And this queue comprises of foreigners, mostly, not of
Okay.
Indians.
Okay.
And even we see nowadays that the foreigners are relishing the Indian cuisine. So this is definitely an opportunity for us to export our RTC, RTE. The Indian palate is very flavorsome, if you ask the foreigners, and they really relish that.
So have you looked into this space? Have you done some research as a company? Can you share some thoughts?
We are in the process right now,
Okay.
and we have sent samples to some countries. The product has been appreciated. Unfortunately, there are just too many compliances involved in exporting these products, and we are trying to complete those right now.
Most of the slaughter plants are by the industry. You either have a broiler and then you've got feed plant, you do integration, getting to slaughtering. So this question is open to the panel. Whoever is comfortable, please jump in and share your thoughts on this. Can an individual like Mahesh, who has no breeding stock, no feed plant, no hatchery, no integration, put up a slaughterhouse and do a third-party trolling on slaughtering? Is it profitable business? Is it profitable? Can I make I got nothing to do with the poultry industry. I just put in like a company called Protac, right? That's a real example, right? So is there money for just standalone slaughterhouse? We'll build, please line up X, Y, Z, I'll slaughter and I'll charge you per kilo. Is this a profitable standalone business opportunity in slaughtering? Please, from your experiences, please.
I think it is possible.
Okay.
See, the first thing is the processing charges, what they're taking, it may be around 10 to 15 rupees.
Oh, it's upward of 16.
Yes. Another thing is, see, this rendering cost, rather the income generation from the rendering. Say, let me give some figures. Say 2 kg live bird, which yields around 600 grams of the waste. Now, of course, it depends on skin on and skin out birds. Now, this 600 grams of waste can be converted into 200 grams of chicken meal.
Okay.
When chicken meal, it fetches around 40 rupees per kg. That means 8 rupees we can generate from a 2 kg bird. In that, okay, let us take 1 rupee for the rendering cost. In spite of that, 7 rupees is a huge profit. So standalone, I think
it is a viable business opportunity for entrepreneurs.
Yes. And another thing is, I personally feel that should be encouraged so that live shops can be converted into, chicken shops, rather the chilled chicken shops.
So I've got 1 minute to go. I've got one question. Dr. Jain was talking about making it affordable, increasing the size of the market for the eggs and the chicken so that the MIG and the low LIG can eat more. And Dr. Devagowda was talking about 20 kilo per person per year in metropolitan cities. So on the processing side, how can you bring in processing, increase consumption in rural India? What is a strategy for slaughtering, processing, increasing consumption in rural India? MIG, LIG. Any thoughts? It's still going on live bird. Have you sat back and said, that's a huge market, I want to address that?
I think we have to create a brand, and we have to start with the RTC, RTE, the value-added products. If that brand is created in the LIG, MIG segment, because they will first lap up our value-added products, because that is not available around, right? So if that brand gets created, then there is a possibility that they can actually take our fresh chilled chicken also. The creation of a brand is very essential, and we can start with marketing of the value-added product in the MIG, LIG segment.
Sir, you had some thoughts.
With the small and medium processing plants, we can move the chilled chicken very remote area, in a village area, where we can serve first C-grade materials, because very poor people will opt for that and will be habited to go for the processed chicken later. And since the processing plant is nearby, the fresh chicken is reached to them within in the span of 4 to 6 hours, and they will feel that it is more fresh
you're
than the
talking
frozen
like-
chicken from the big
You're
plant.
talking like 500 birds per hour, kind of small plants going to rural India and
Yes, and we producers have to do this activity, my feeling, so that the vision of Dr. Jain, we will reach to the medium and low income people very efficiently, and that is the need of the hour now.
You want to share? We are out of time. I'm sorry, but anything you want to share, please share with the house for the benefit of processing. We are doing about what, 4%, 5% of processing in India?
In fact, the saddest part is, I'm talking about the waste management part. Only 5% or maybe 10% is processed. And 10% the waste, the solid waste is managed now. So rest of the 90% which goes out of the market, which is, somewhere estimated is around 3,000 crores. So now 3,000 crores of rupees which goes out of the market, and, it causes much more damage to the environment. So in fact, the processing is, we have to go for
Thank you,
more and
gentlemen.
more processing shops should come.
Thank you, everybody. And sorry, we shot out by about 2-3 minutes.
Thank you.
I request Mr. Manjesh Kumar Jadhav, General Manager of Venkateshwara Hatcheries, to come on the dais and felicitate the panelists and the moderators.